This is the first lesson where the children are seeing triangles using the geometry box of sticks. Ideally, the children have had lots of experiences with triangles though, using the geometry cabinet and also using the constructive triangles if they have them. So this is how we would present this lesson. Today, we are going to start exploring the world's strongest shape. Can you guess which is the world's strongest shape? They might say triangle, they might say they don't know, or they might guess some other shape. You say, well, yes, it is the triangle. So I'm going to give you some sticks so that you can build this triangle. So you hand these to the child. They have to be these specific sticks, these colors. So for this lesson, the adult hands the child the sticks, and the child puts them together with the butterfly fasteners. And so here's one that's almost done. We just need one more, and I'm going to show you how you would do it. Butterfly fastener goes into the holes. Out the other way. At this point, the children should know how to do that. See, great. That's the first triangle. Let's build another triangle. You hand the child these specific sticks, 2 blue sticks, 1 yellow stick, and you invite them to build this triangle. Great. Now I'm going to give you one more set of sticks. So you give them these specific sticks, and they build the third triangle. Now that we have the 3 triangles, what can you tell me about this triangle? And the child might say, well, all the sides are different colors. You'll say, well, yes, they are different colors. And what does each color represent? And they might know or not know, and so you can discuss, well, all 3 sides are different lengths. Each side has a different length. What about this one? Well, the child will say, these 2 sides have the same length, but this length is different. Indeed. And this one? All 3 sides have the same length. And so you want to encourage the child to verbalize that concept of length. And then you say, well, you know, the ancient Greeks had a name for this triangle. They called it scalene, and scalene to them meant steps or a scale, like a music scale. This side measures 8 in our geometry box of sticks. This side measures 9 and this side measures 10. So it's like a scale, 8, 9, 10. And so they called it scalenos. We call it scalene. Let's look at this one. This one has 2 sides that are the same length. We can think of them as 2 little legs that are the same length and are walking along together, right? And this one's a different length. Now the ancient Greeks had a name for this triangle too. In ancient Greek, isosceles meant 2 equal legs. And from there comes our name from it, isosceles, 2 equal legs. Now what do we know about this one? All 3 sides have equal length, yes. And so we call it equilateral. So now we have scalene, isosceles, and equilateral. Can you point to isosceles? Can you point to scalene? Can you point to equilateral? Great. Let's take these labels off, mix them up. We're going to play a little game. Okay. Can you find this one? So the child has to read equilateral. They have to find it. Can you find this one? And they have to read scalene. Can you find this one? And they have to read isosceles. And I say, now I'm going to put them in a different order. So there are lots of different little games that you can play with your children. If you have 3 children, for example, or 2 children and yourself, you can give 1 triangle to each and say who has the isosceles, who has the equilateral, who has the scalene. So just different ways of getting the children to repeat the words. And so finally, you invite them to label them again, scalene, isosceles, equilateral, and say, let's go find the corresponding triangles in the geometry cabinet. And so then the children will bring out the triangles and match them. Scalene, isosceles, and equilateral. And once they're done with this lesson, there are lots of different activities that the children can do to follow up and get more experience with these concepts. The children can build these same triangles with different sizes of sticks in the box of sticks. They can use classified nomenclature. They can draw the different triangles using the geometry insets, and then they can color them in, label them. You can do artwork with the different triangles. They can identify the 3 types of triangles in the constructive triangle sets if you have that. You can do grammar sentences, for example, the scalene triangle, and then the child has to symbolize the article, scalene adjective, triangle, noun. So that's a great way of combining it with language. You can have command cards. You can either buy them or make them, and you can tell the child, build a scalene triangle, build an isosceles triangle. You can say build 2 different isosceles triangles using the box of sticks. And a really fun thing to do for children is to explore their environment. So you can give them, for example, the equilateral triangle and say, go find 5 different places around the house where you could see an equilateral triangle in the furniture, on the floor, on the walls, in our artwork. Go explore. Or you can do the same thing with isosceles and scalene, and you can see the different levels of challenge. You can also do this outdoors. It's also a great challenge for the children. We want to give them lots of opportunities for exploration, for repetition with variety, so that they can memorize and really understand these 3 different triangles.